Thierry, the most interesting man in the world. Lots of pressure, but I'm very happy to be with you to share some story that happens to me and that changed my life. And that's for me something very important. And you will see it's amazing. I'm here since this morning because I'm just back from Greenland yesterday night. And it's very connected of everything I hear this morning. So I just start this because I'm very talkative and I don't want that you lose anything, so just to be sharp. Storytelling, that's what we are talking about this morning. And in fact, I tell, when people ask me what kind of job, when my daughter at school, people asked her, what is the job of your father? She say, explorer. And it's nice. I'm very proud about that, explorer, you know. But it's the word for the girls. I mean, it's to be very tough. But the real thing is that we are only storyteller. We are storyteller. And I start expeditions 30 years ago with small expeditions. I came to Tallinn by bicycle from Paris to Tallinn 20 years ago. And I don't know what you have done to this city. What happens in 20 years? But that changed like hell. It's crazy. I wasn't expecting that. So I start to do expeditions. I start my study, and I got a PhD in computer science. I work on computer graphics. The title of my PhD was Animation by Free Space Time Deformations. But in France, when you are a teacher in computer science, you have 192 hours to do per year. So you have lots of free time. And I do expeditions, all kinds of expeditions, kayaking in the Antarctic, the North Pole. I've been 3 times to the North Pole by ski. 8 times I crossed the ice cap of Greenland. And, you have lots of crisis to manage when you do this kind of expedition. It's only stories about crisis, bad weather, what you do when you are in the ice cap like this, when the wind goes up and goes up and goes up, and you have to dig a hole in the ice and bury yourself in this hole, and what you do when you are, this picture, we were diving on an iceberg, on cave inside iceberg, but we get lost. We have a rope, and the rope cut on the ice, and we get lost in cave inside the iceberg, so it was super scary. So you have to manage all these crises. And so what you will do, and what I learned to do, is to prepare everything carefully. Weight everything, analyze everything, prepare everything before, have all the best gear, all the knowledge that you can, collect all the data, analyze all the data, and be super precise, like it's kind of a military operations, And for any kind of tool that you use, like paragliding, like dog sledging, you are so precise. You calculate the weight of your food very precisely, how many kilocalories you will take to reach the North Pole, how the weight of your sledge. You cut, the strap of your backpacks to be light, and you do all these kind of things, and you will see that doesn't work. And in fact, I was in Greenland 1 year for a kayak expedition, and something was strange because we have to cross a very big place, and it takes us 2 days by kayak, so I need to be very careful with the weather. I got the weather forecast, I got all this information, but I go to the pier to check with the locals. And I see an old guy, taking care of his net, and I ask him, what do you think about, in Greenlandic, what do you think about the weather for tomorrow? It will be a good weather? And he say to me, look at me and say, oh yes, tomorrow it will be a good weather. I go back, and the weather forecast was so bad. So I come back to him and I say, maybe I do something wrong in Greenlandic, so I ask him again, I say, for tomorrow, you think it will be bad weather? Look at me and say, oh yes, it will be bad weather. I say, okay, fuck. Bad weather or good weather? And it was just like this, you know? Oh, you will see tomorrow. And so I say, okay, forget the locals, they're crazy, and I go with the weather forecast that I use. So we have to manage also, in this kind of crisis, dangerous animals. But I mean not. Dangerous is not the good terms. I mean, there is only one dangerous animal, it's us. It's curious animals that they come to check what you are doing, like the polar bear or the leopard seal in Antarctica, when they come to check your kayaks, if your kayak is good, and they just shoo your kayaks as they shoo the penguins. And also good animals, nice animals. And so I travel all around the world. I was super proud about me. I have done more than 150 expeditions. Everything was very calculated, very precise. And one year, in 2001, in February, we decided to do a big expedition, ski expeditions on sea ice in North Greenland. We calculate exactly the moments of these expeditions regarding the weather forecast. We analyze everything about the sea ice and so on. And we start. And I was skiing like this, you know, with a sledge. And I was testing the ice. And suddenly, I realized that the ice is this thickness. So, you know, it's not, well, you are used to sea ice over there. So it's very, very soft. So I stop everyone, ask everyone to go around, back. And I just try to get away of the area. And of course, all the ice broke. So I fall under the ice. And unfortunately, my sledge keep me under the water. So I have to take away my gloves to unleash my sledge, get out of the water. Outside was minus 35, so everything was frozen on my head, and everyone was out screaming. And I say, okay, calm down, don't come to me. And I try to get out of the water, but the sea ice was too thin, so everything was broken around me. I asked them to throw me ropes, but they don't succeed. It's not so easy. I mean, if you are here and you have to drop a rope precisely over there, it's not so easy. So they don't succeed. And I spend lots of time. I take away my ski. I try to keep my sledge with me. And unfortunately, I asked them to go on the rocks and stay safe on the rock, on an island over there. And they let me alone. So after that, I try to, instead of getting outside like this from the ice, I swim like a seal, escape from the ice, but I was already in hypothermia, roll in the snow, and to take the moisture away, and take my sledge, but I was completely, you know, very lazy and difficult to open the sledge. Fortunately, 2 Greenlandic was fishing outside. They saw me falling in the water. They came with the snowmobiles and the small sledge, and they said to me, come on the sledge, I pick you up to the city, let's say. So I go on the sledge, there were 2 kids, so I got the 2 kids on the knee, and he go with the snowmobiles, full speed. So I start to be very frozen. I was really in hypothermia. And just the moment that when we reached the islands, all the sea ice broke. So he escaped with the snowmobiles, but the sledge broke, and I fall again in the water with the 2 kids on my shoulder. In fact, I got one foot on the rock, and the 2 kids like this. They don't know how to swim over there, of course. The water is too cold. And so he take these kids out, help me to get out, and he say, okay, I save my kids, save your life. And he go away with the snowmobiles, and I run until I ran. I was running very slow, but I go to the hospital. They take me, completely hypothermia, and my both hand and feet were frozen. And the doctor over there said to me, okay, I'm doctor here since 15 years. I never seen someone coming back alive from falling in the water because nobody know how to swim over there. So you are lucky, you are alive, but we're gonna cut your foot and your hand. No, you can look. No, I keep it, fortunately, in fact. It's because the doctor said to me that I keep my finger and my foot because I never smoke and never drink alcohol. So all the veins are in a good shape. So, and of course, that was like this under the sea ice. Of course, when it happens that to you, everything changes. And there is a very nice quote that says that we have two lives, and the second one starts when you realize that you have only one. That's happened to me. I stopped. I quit the university. I resigned. I remember that my director said to me, "But Nicolas, you cannot quit this kind of job." I say, "Okay, do whatever you want, but I'm leaving." So, and I start to change. Not to bring, healthy, sportive people to the North Pole, but I start to bring amputees. Of course, I've been, during 6 months, they said that they were gonna cut my hands and my foot, so I get very involved with amputees people. So I bring people to the North Pole across the ice cap with no legs, or this guy who have no arms to swim with icebergs. But I always, I miss something. I have this in mind. I miss something. I have done something wrong. There's something that I don't understand. Why that happens? So I came back to Greenland, and I asked the Greenlandic who saved my life. I said to him, "Okay, help me. I want to understand." And he said, "Okay, here, Nicolas, in Greenland, we don't help people. We don't help people because, one, if you help people, you show them that they are not able to do things by themselves. And second one, if we have to help you, that means that you have nothing to do here." So, nice, thank you. So he bring me with the snowmobiles, 1 week away from the settlements, let me with my gear, and say, "Okay, you have seen the way, come back home." And he left. And that's how they teach here. So you have to understand very quickly. So I came back by ski, but I don't really understand why he have done that, and what he expects from me to learn by this. So he said to me, "Okay, now you have to go on a place very wide in Kullorsuaq. You can check on the web what it is. It's a small settlement. I mean, it is the most remote settlements in the Arctic, the wildest settlements in the Arctic. There is only fishermen and hunters, and they are only dog sledging, only hunting with kayaks, and still like this." So I go with them, and I have them teach me everything. So I was like, a PhD student. I was just not everything. Calculate, say, they teach me. They were just like this, with the polar bear trousers. And I was a little bit, like a very French guy, thinking that I'm very better than them because they are in sealskin, they are just lazy people, and so on. And I try to understand how they live. I try to note everything. And I remember I was in a tent. It was -40, like this, very bad sleeping bags. And, in the tents, we are all sleeping really close to each other. If we are sleeping like this, when there is one who turns, everyone have to turn. And I was shaking because my sleeping bags was very bad. When they take you, when they teach you, they give you all the bad gear, all the bad dogs, because you have to. They are the best, so they have to have the best gear. So I was shaking like this, and Uli, he said to me, "Okay, Nicolas, are you cold?" And I said, "Yes, but I'm thinking I will take my, emergency blankets, and with some hand warmers, I will build something." So I start to think and to imagine a new gear, a technological gear, to help me to not shaking like this. And what Uli do, he opened my sleeping bags. This is the sexy part of the presentation. No child, huh? No, nothing. He opened the sleeping bags, and he started to tickle me. So I was laughing, and he started to tickle. I tickle him, and everyone's wake up, of course, in the tents. We were 5 in the tents, and everyone was tickle each other. 5 minutes, and it was damn hot in the tent. I say, okay, now you're good. Okay, we're gonna sleep now. So that was the first things for me, not always answer any problem with the technical solutions. I mean, there is also adaptations that you have to learn too. And so I start to understand what they mean. But for example, the most important thing is to find your way on the sea ice. How you find the way. I was always thinking, okay, the ice is like this and so on, and you taste the ice, okay, that's the way we have to go. And they always choose the other way. So I asked them, okay, how you do that? How you find the good way to go where the ice is good? And they sent me a very nice quote in Greenlandic. Inu neami nalungit sartuarput tasavok pisu sakna minak pumarmat. That means there is only one thing who is sure, is that what happens will happen. So that means that the message behind this is try, and I come back on the previous presentation about the creativity. Combat and your emotional intelligence, your instinct works on your instinct. Okay, if you are fear to go there, go there. And that's changed everything that I learned. I have to work on that, on this kind of instinct, and how you have to, you don't know what said to you the good way, but there is something in you who say that's the good way. And so I decided to buy a beautiful house in Kullorsuaq. You are very welcome. It's don't come too much, but too many people, but it's a very nice house. So, but how you do, and I want to live with them to learn how they do, how they behave. You know, in Kullorsuaq, the last resupply boat came in November, beginning of November, and the last one is at the beginning of July. In between, there is nothing. So if you forget anything from in any materials, you have nothing. So you have to manage by yourself. You have that push you to adapt. So I hunt with them. I go for hunting, everything, seal. Narwhal, that's picture from some days ago. Narwhal, hunting narwhals with kayak on the ice edge. Hunting narwhals with on summer, and to understand that there is nothing that you can do alone. Okay, in France, I don't know, in Estonia or whatever, we encourage, you know, the things that you are the biggest and strongest man alone, and you are nothing alone. You want to hunt a narwhal more than 1 ton. You can do nothing if you are alone. You have to be together, and so you have to share also. You know, when they hunt a narwhal, they share everything. When you hunt, it's a picture from polar bear hunting. When you hunt a polar bear, you have lots of respect. First of all, you never talk about the polar bear. And the things that how they show the hunt is that the things that you can catch a polar bear only if the polar bear accepts that you catch it. So you need to have a full respect for him, because he will give himself to you. So you need to be respectful for any animals. And you know, this is they are animists, like many locals. So that means there is spirit in everything. There is spirit in the glass, in the table, in the relation between you and me, in anything. So that means that there is spirit also in animals, and you have to respect. So, but you have to hit them also. So I hit now it's a beluga head, and you eat the skin, and you have to change everything, you know? Your way of thinking, no carrots, no potatoes, no tomatoes over there. You have to eat the seal skin, the beluga skin, the blubber, and you have to eat, you want to have good view, you have to eat the eggs of the seal. It seems disgusting, but it's not. Huh? You take the eyes on the end like this, you open it, and you swallow inside. The funny thing is that when you take the eyes on the end, because your hands are warm, you know, the pupil is opening. So it seems that the seal is looking at you. And I have to dress also, because always the same things. I came with all the last gear, the most expensive gear that I got. But that doesn't work. You have to wear polar bear skin, and you have to be ready to mix with the nature and to be, as they say, it's kind of translation, it's to be in harmony of your environment. Nature doesn't exist for them. Animist people are like this. Nature doesn't exist. The world doesn't exist because you are part of the nature. Everything is nature. Everything is environment. So you need to mix with them and to be in harmony with them. And you need to, you know, party on the sea ice. You need to explore everything to be really in middle of your environment. So we go, and these people, what I was very impressed is that they can manage the narwhal hunting with a harpoon alone here on the sea, but they know also how to hip hop. So they know everything about you. So they have a strength of adaptation amazing. So that gives me all this, push me out of my comfort zone. So I go on warm country, I do expeditions in Scattered Islands, which is a quite nice place, and to Amazonia also, and I push me a lot to go to Africa, Western Africa, Guyana, and every place like this, and I met also lots of local peoples, you know, strange people sometimes, but they have all the same, you know, not the difference, but the similarity between the tattoo. I met this guy here in the forest, this one. He was alone in the forest. I met him and he said, okay, you want to come to see my tribe? I said, yeah, of course. I met his tribe and I hid with them. I spent 2 days with them. It was completely crazy, you know. And this guy at the end, he bring me a paper with something written on it. And I don't really understand. I was with a guide who can translate for me, a local. And I say, okay, I think he needs some money. He wants some money. Of course, he helped me, teach me lots of things. Well, it's not a big deal. I can give him money, but I don't understand how much he wants and what is written on the paper. And my guide looks at it and says, oh, no, he don't want money. This is his Facebook profile. Wapi Tatuyu. I'm a friend with Wapi Tatuyu in middle of Amazonia. He got a Facebook profile. In Kullorsuaq, they all have Facebook. They are all, you want to do something, they go on Facebook. You want to, you do something, they take a picture, it's on Facebook. Everything is like this, and you have to change your mind. It's in Africa. I was scouting for a cruise ship, and they say that I was on the settlements, and in Bijagos Island, you know, the chief of the settlements is not the man, but it's like in all the world. It's the woman, okay? It's the queen of the settlements. And all the settlements, she said to me that we don't want to have a tourist here. I say, why? He said, because you don't understand anything. I say, but why you say that? I say, you look, all around our settlements, there is plastic everywhere. And that's true. When you go on the settlements, there is plastic everywhere. And I say, okay, but don't worry. I will come with guide day before, and we'll clean everything. And they were all laughing. I said, no, but you really don't understand. We put plastics all around the settlements, Because like this, all the other people from other village, when they came, they see that we are very rich because we can buy some plastic. So it's very important for us to have some plastics. So I have to explain that to all the tourists. And that's why I decided to build my own company, and Sedna, and we work with local peoples, and we construct expedition with them, with scientists, and for example, on boats also, for scientists, we charter big boats so we can put lots of scientists on it. And I came back, this picture was taken 3 days ago. We teach the hunters from Kullorsuaq how to put beacon for the scientists on the narwhals. So the scientists, they don't have any more to go. I'm sorry, I have very... And that's just a picture, just to finish something about the picture. Here in this last expedition, I learned something very important, is that, you know, I don't know you here or in your country, but in France, we often say that you have to see to believe. And what I discovered here in this expedition, in the last expedition, is that you have to believe to see. And they bring me on a place here in Greenland where the glacier retreats a lot. And they were very scared to go there because they say the glacier retreat completely, so the spirits, they change, everything change. So there is Krivitok. Krivitok is like a ghost. And we sleep on the tents like this with all the dogs around. And of course we were 5 sledges, so that means we got more than 100 dogs around us to protect from the polar bear. And during the night, my friend, they wake me up and say, listen, Nico, and there is no noise. And when there is no noise, no dogs barking, it's strange. And I get out of the tents, we get out of the tents with the rifles and so on, and we see 100 dogs, you know, looking on the same place with the ear like this. And I got goosebumps when I tell you that. There were nothing. And my friends say, okay, look, there is a Krivitok. There is a Krivitok over there. It is not, I don't know. I have not seen anything, but I understand what they mean by this. For the very end, that means. That was the sentence, Silarsuaq Sikullu Kisimi Naagalavoq. This is the most famous proverb quotes in Greenland. That means only the weather and the ice will decide. That means that we have to understand that we don't master anything. This is only the nature, I mean the weather, the ice, who decide. We just have to be an ally to them. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Incredible stories and incredible insights. I guess one quick question for yourself as well. I think bringing it back to the tech ecosystem and maybe the parallels we can bring with founders and what they're going through, it's easy maybe to see the teamwork side, the sleeping together in the tent, why that's important, the sharing aspect. But obviously, you saw the side of the ruthlessness of, you know, the way that they view the world. What can we learn from that? What are the takeaways? Why is that a positive thing to have?
Oof, that's a difficult question. For me, the most important things that I learn from them is what Jan told just before me, is the letting go. Letting go everything you know. And I mean, I start to understand, I start to live well, I start to properly go on the ice as soon as I let go all my knowledge, everything, and okay, there is accept that I cannot control everything. And for me, that's the biggest lesson that I learned from them.
Thank you. Big round of applause for Nico. Thank you very much.
Thank you to you.